Trading has closed on the 15th of June, 2023. As always, we'll begin with our disclaimer, go over our calls, and make some predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, which is June 16th, 2023. Remember, my calls can be wrong. Please trade at your own risk. Also, I've had personal business all week. I might have some time tomorrow. I have personal business again Monday. I'm going to do it as well as I can, but I'm just not playing with all my cards. Look for the pattern with the early high, but said it could be a rally day. That's what we said. We said there was lots of negativity in yesterday's action, but we needed strong follow-through for confirmation. Obviously, that was not strong follow-through on the downside today. Well, this is the early high pattern. Here's your early high right on time. There's your late low right on time. And there's your midday rally, which is a hallmark of the pattern. Tomorrow's pattern should also have the early high. This looked like a strong rally that nothing would stop, but finally stopped. It was resistance. Look at this red line. That's a MEJT target from 14 months ago. 44, 33, 17, 20, 22. Not a misprint. There's resistance at and just over the target. We hit it and stopped. It's an amazing thing. We also rallied all day. Couldn't close over the midday highs, couldn't even close over the midday lows. That's a negative pattern if it's maintained. Either you take this high out early or we should see lower prices tomorrow. Doesn't mean you'll close lower, but it's a negative pattern unless we take this out. Now I think we're in the middle of the standard three-leg whipsaw. The FOMC announcement was at 43.73.93. We dropped 36.08 handles from the announcement price. We don't know if this up leg's over, but so far we've gone 65.27 handles over that price. And once we go convincingly under this FOMC announcement price, you'd like to see us go more under that price than we went over it, meaning we'll go to at least 43.08.65 if the normal pattern plays out. MEJT doesn't trust this whole rally, says this drop is false, it's already retraced, says this rally's false, gives us a 43.95.70 target, says the afternoon rally's false, gives us a 44.02.15 target. If we don't gap up smartly, my call is we see these prices, this one by tomorrow, this one by early Tuesday, if all goes according to plan. Here's Major League trendline resistance. You connect this high to this high, pretty close there, and you hit it right here on the nose. Either you gap over that line or the line wins. So if we do trade over that line tomorrow without the gap, I don't think it'll stick. Well, this was my count, and it might still be the right count. The problem with it was that wave 2 is a bit short for my taste. It was after a long wave 1, you'd want wave 2 to be a little bit bigger than this, a bit longer. You'd certainly like it to be longer than some of the waves of lesser degree in the same direction. There is another way to count this. You could still have A in the same place, but you could have this as an ABC with that being complete today, and C, if this is A, C is twice A right at the high. So it could be this was A, it could be that's B, and then we're going to have this longer wave black 2, which will come down quite a bit from today's high. If we stop here, doesn't mean we have to stop here. We have to use the mixed signals rules. Tomorrow's pattern has really high. Doesn't mean you won't gap down. It's bullish. Today's normally bearish pattern wasn't bearish. It was bullish. Should lead to higher prices fairly soon, but it doesn't mean we close higher, and it also doesn't mean we overtake today's high. There's trend line resistance at the high today, and if we don't get over it, then I expect to move through it. If one occurs, it should retrace at least to the line. But it's bearish. We have lower MEJT targets. Unless we gap up smartly, the rules call for them to print. It's also negative. The strong rally couldn't manage a close over midday lows, meaning the last few hours of trading couldn't hold on to the gains. We had a straight line move to, but not through, trend line and MEJT resistance. Unless we gap up smartly, I look for lower prices tomorrow, regardless of how we close. Now, there are two times these MEJT targets tend to print late. One is at major changes in trend, and the other is during periods of strong impulsive moves. We've had a strong impulsive move, and that's why they're late, but I think they'll still print. This is the long-term track record since 2002. You can see in 2021, every target printed. In 2022, we're down to 4 regular and 1 ultimate target, which hasn't printed. And on the New Year's holiday, we had 10 targets from 2022 which hadn't printed. I said that was too many, and I expected most and possibly all of these targets to print before year's over. Of these 10 targets, 5 have already printed, and all we have left is one from year-end, a cluster in April of 2022, and the cluster in January of 2022, and that's it. So only 3 weeks with any failed targets out of 52, and only 5 failed targets out of about 650 from last year. Some of these looked way out of reach. We closed last year 38, 39. I mean, this looked way out of reach at the time, but they did print. And I'm confident these lower targets are going to print, even if they don't print exactly when you'd like them to. I think the track record's pretty good. And don't forget, when they print, they're either support or, as today, they're resistance. And even if you have to wait a long time, it pays to keep track of the numbers. So tomorrow's pattern has the early high. The signals are mixed. I think we stopped right at resistance. I can certainly justify a move down. And if this holds, we're talking about close to 4,300, if not lower, because we still have these targets. But it hasn't happened yet. Let me take this out early. We don't have to stop here, but if we do stop here, that's what awaits us. But for real confirmation, you have to go through this line, FOMC price 43.7393 with conviction, but MEJT says that's going to happen, even though it doesn't really tell us exactly when. And that's today's call.